Well, hey everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Today is Wednesday, February 27th, 2019, and it is just such a great time to build your business and really have it explode. I hope everybody's having an amazing start of 2019. If you're not, there is now and today to change that around, and hopefully we can help today. I've got some announcements. I'm really excited to talk about a few things. I'm Can't wait for Michael's presentation. I know he's been working hard on putting something together. I was the guest speaker for the company last night, so mine is going to be kind of short. Last night I talked a lot about my why and things like that. But let me go ahead and pull up my little presentation so I can show you what I've got going on today. And like I said, an exciting time already in the end of February. So I hope things are really moving for you. There's a lot of excitement with the new CRM. So please do not add anything into the old CRM. We're not going to be looking in there anymore. All of the data should have carried over. I know they're still working on some of the dumped prospects. I go in there every few days and make sure I haven't missed, anything on my calendar. But it looks like everything has transferred over. Nothing is going to get wiped again. So feel free to use the CRM. And I'm actually going to show you a few things in just a second in my CRM. There's a whole bunch of tutorials in there, so take advantage of those. Set up your vision board and your why. I'm going to show you how to do that today. And then, of course, on my WFG, go ahead and set up your all access pass. Everybody's auto E&O canceled out, so it needs to be reset again. Really, really important. And the vision board, this is mine. I talked a little bit about this yesterday, but every single picture on here means something to me. So I definitely implore you to make your own vision board, whatever inspires you. I've got here, moving to Vegas, having, nice things, traveling, seeing a lot of my family, having some international travel, expanding through North America, getting my $1 million ring, hitting all of the trips, all of the quarterly bonuses, all the monthly bonuses, having peace of mind, getting to that EVC level, and I've got this leadership is everything with our leadership, and then I've got our team here. So that's what motivates me. I've also added my why, so I'm going to show you all how to do that today if you haven't done so already. And a lot of questions that I've had come up about how to add notes in the CRM. So I just want to show you that when you're in the CRM, you actually have to click on the notes and communication history in order for this window to open up where you would actually add the notes. Click on Save Note, and then it's going to give you like a little green check mark and say that that's been added. So, sorry about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the CRM really quickly so I can show you what that looks like. So the new CRM is VF Contact. And all you have to do is go to VF Contact, click on the new associate login, put in your code number, make sure that you're putting in capitals where there need to be capitals, username, password, case specific, you're going to log in. And as soon as you log in, your vision board is going to pop up. But let's say you want to update your vision board, or you want to add a vision board, or you want to update your why that's down here. What you would do is every time you have to close out of this, and you want to go to your profile. So right here is the why questions. So if you click on this little question mark next to the why questions, it's going to allow you to type some stuff in the fields, update your why questions. Next time you log out and log back in, you should be able to make sure that those look good. The other thing is under profile is your vision board. So when you click on this little circle for vision board, it's going to ask you to choose a file. So if you're not sure what file you're going to do, I want to show you how to convert a PDF to a JPEG, because this takes JPEGs better than it takes PDFs. It's going to look cleaner. So let me show you from my PowerPoint if I wanted to take this right here and upload this. So what I would do is I would go over here to File, and I would click on Export, and then I'm going to change the file type to a JPEG, and I'm going to save as, And this is a personal preference. Where do you want to save it? I personally save everything to my desktop. I'm going to title it something I can find, Alana Vision Board, and I'm going to save. And it's going to say, which slide do I want to export? I just want to export this one slide. So I'm going to click on just this one, and it did its thing. So now when I'm in my CRM, I can just click on Choose File, and then I'm going to select where I found it, desktop. All of the stuff is going to be in ABC order, so I'm going to scroll down to the eyes for Alana. This is Mike's computer, so it's got all of his stuff on here. There it is, Alana Vision Board. I'm going to double click. I'm going to click on Upload Vision Board Image, and it's going to tell me over here the file has been uploaded. So now next time when I log out, and then I log back in, it's going to have my updated information that I put in there, and it's going to pop right up. So, and there it is. There's the new updated vision board. So I hope that helped somebody or a few people there. And without further ado, I'm going to grab Mike. Let me go ahead and get out of my stuff here and go back in. To the office. All right, terrific. Thanks so much.
All right, everybody, end of February. I hope everybody's off to a good first quarter. If you're not, just kind of figure out what's going on, what's going wrong, and how to correct that. One of the things that we always talk about is activity plus accountability plus education. We've got the platinum-rated carriers, Pacific Life, Nationwide, Transamerica on their own individual platforms. But remember, a lot of the stuff that under the umbrella of Crump, whether it be annuities, other life products, those people, we have separate support staffs there to help us. Don't box yourself in and get fearful about calling these places, talking to these people. No one ever is going to say, why do you not know that? That's a stupid question. Their job is to help you sell products. So they're going to prepare illustrations for you, answer your questions. We sell a lot of product through Crump, so they're definitely interested in helping you. This is not so much for the inviter, but manager and especially the consultant. Guys need to know how to navigate around. You need to have these numbers available, and you need to know how to get in touch with the proper people and start establishing relationships. Just an update on the 12-week year. I think we're coming up on week 8 this week. So what we want to do is we want to continue to review our scores, review our weeks, figure out what's working, what's not working. And then we always want to add a little something. Last week we discussed our biggest strength as well as our biggest weakness that we feel that we bring to the business. This week, what we want to be discussing is some of the most memorable ads or slogans that you remember for commercials or brands. Remember, if you're going to be an effective marketer, you have to think like a marketer. And if you're going to think like a marketer, think like one that's been successful in the past. So just kind of, brainstorm some things that you remember about commercials, slogans, brands, bring those to the WHAM group. Let's talk about why those were effective, and let's see if we can't mimic some of those things in our marketplaces with our business opportunity and products. Updated leaderboard. Remember, we went through last week a couple of changes to this. I did not want to, when I was approached with this, I did not want to discount it. So we definitely made changes to it because we definitely want to make sure that people are getting proper credit. So it's the same direct partner, hire 2 points, standard track exchange acceptance 1 point, fast track 3 points, and a client sale is now 1 point. This ends April the 7th. $100 goes to the winner. It should pick up a lot of activity as we get closer to that April 7th date. If you guys have any questions about this, let me know. And then don't forget, Alana went through this. We've gone through it on the company training. We went through a walkthrough last week or the week before. This is an area of concentration for you guys, whether you are new or whether you've been here a while. Make sure that you have a good understanding about how to navigate through the CRM. This CRM, I love it. It's the brains of our operation, but you have to know for yourself and your business partners how to navigate through, how to do what we need to get done on a daily basis to extract the kind of value that we can out of the CRM. Remember, your top icon disc up here will take you to any place that you need to go. And then you've got all the rest of your things right here to navigate through the actual CRM. There's tutorial videos. If you guys have any questions about this, let me know. The notes, like Alana said, as well as the files at the very bottom of the page, you actually have to click on those to open that box or that subsection. This is my vision board, and you guys definitely need to create one. The ins and outs on a daily basis of this business can be a grind. It can feel like a grind, especially if you're having a bad week or a bad day. You need to understand why you're doing this. And I've got some things up here that just remind me why I'm doing it, how I'm going to get it done, what I'm going to get out of it. That's really what you want. When you log into your CRM, don't just discount that first page. You know, when you log in every day, take a minute to absorb your vision, take a minute to absorb your why, and then get to work. And if you're having a bad afternoon, log out, log back in, and look at this again. Guys, building a business from the ground floor up is not an easy job. And when you have so much of a human element like this business does, people are going to let you down. People are not going to do what they say. You've got to concentrate on what you control, which is your activity, your influence over the people that are actually working. So don't take the vision board and the why for granted. Look at it every day, absorb it, and get to work, and use that as motivation to drive execution on the back end. Also, I feel like there's not enough people that really understand the power of our back-end marketing system. So number one, you guys need to understand that this, when you're logging into your back end, your social links and more, these are all of your social sites. If you put those in on all of your pages, they start to show up here. Now, one of the things that you don't want to have happen to you is have a bunch of broken links. Every once in a while, these platforms change their algorithm. Sometimes that disrupts your address there. So every once in a while, when you're on one of your pages, just click on this stuff. Make sure it goes to the right place. If you haven't set this up, go ahead and set it up, because the more that you can bring a personal brand to this environment where people can get to know you and you create that like, trustability, credibility factor, the better off you're going to be as a marketer with the things that you deploy. And then also the lead capture pages. We get stuck on a couple of them, but I just want you guys to understand and know that you have a lot of choices here. One of the things that we want to practice going into the next coming weeks is how to target and first of all, how to segment an audience, how to get to know that audience, how to target that audience with messages that are speaking directly to them, whether it's entrepreneurs, real estate, insurance agents, whoever you might be speaking with. The more targeted you can get the message, the better. And then with that targeted message, if you're going to back that up with something like a lead capture or a landing page, it needs to make sense. So you need to understand that this in your marketing system will open up all of these, and you can kind of go in there and explore what you have. And there's three things that you need to be aware of. Number one, this is the actual link that goes to the landing page. So if you have a vanity URL, this would be the forward address. This is where you're sending them after they get exposure to the front side and put in their name, email address, and phone number. This needs to make sense. So if you've got a landing page on the front side where you're not giving much information before you capture the data, you don't want to send them to another landing page just like that. You want to make sure that this makes sense. If you already captured the data on the front end, give them access to the pages on the back end. If you are giving them access to more information on the front side, maybe a landing page on the back side would be appropriate. If you guys have any questions about this, just let us know. You want to pick out, a handful of these, 5 or so of these to use, deploy, and effectively understand how they're going to work, and then find out what's working, what's not, beta test things, beta test messages, beta test audiences. Your real job is to go out there and fail. And if you really want to, get brutally honest about what this is as a marketing position in the beginning, you're going to try stuff. It's not going to work. You're going to figure out why it didn't work. You're going to continue to tweak it. And then eventually you're going to have some stuff that works. Now, you have to be flexible. Not everything is going to work the same forever. I can tell you right now that LinkedIn today doesn't work like LinkedIn did 3 years ago. It's different. So you have to adjust things. Same thing with all of your marketing. If you are leading or leaning all of your marketing on one leg and that leg becomes disrupted or changed or altered, your business is going to take a heavy hit. That's why when you see programs like Shark Tank and you have people coming in there selling product doing well, And one of the questions from somebody like Mark Cuban is, how do you get your, where's your audience? Where's your clients coming from? If they're 100% Facebook marketing, most of those people are out, because it's not enough to lean on one leg of marketing when you're not in control of that marketing, because like I said, if it gets disrupted, it gets changed, you're kind of screwed. So the URL, the tour page after they put in their contact information, and you've got a message campaign. This is an autoresponder standard series. There are defaults in the actual marketing system, work from home campaign, but you can also develop your own messages, time them for whatever you want. So get to know this marketing system. It will help you not only in your advertising and marketing, but it also helps you become a better marketer as well. When you get to know some of these things, how to deploy it, how to use it, who am I talking to, and why am I sending them to this particular page, will greatly benefit you. Also, as you are building your business, you need to become organized, because we're always giving, whether it's me, whether it's Alana, whether it's somebody else in the group through the Facebook group post, somebody's always giving you some great information. If you're just kind of glancing over it and moving on to the next thing, that's a big disadvantage for you going forward. So what I suggest that you guys do is build folders where you can quickly take things and put them there for later use, for your own or for your partner's use. And you could have a folder that's dedicated to your memes, because once you've created or posted a few hundred memes, you can probably get into the rhythm of just repeating those. So like we always talk about, there's hurdles in the beginning to get all this set up. Once it's all set up, it's just a constant rhythm of activity that's very easy to mimic on a daily basis. So put your memes that you're using in a folder, create a folder for any type of PowerPoints or media that we share with you, marketing or business guides, things that will help you or your partners. Like I said, you don't want to just glance over this stuff and move on. You want to save it if it's worthwhile. Virtual financial partner specific information, and then any information on our products or providers that you think is relevant to your business. So a couple of folders that you set up, just quickly put stuff in there. After a while, you have a treasure trove or a library of information for yourself and your business partners. We talked about this during I believe it was a Sunday call. Dial My Calls is something that we started a beta test text messaging on. Really quickly, I'm just going to run through a couple of those slides that came from that. And the actual 15-minute class is in the YouTube channel, or on the YouTube channel. You can access that. These text campaigns are good for both potential partner or potential client-based campaigns. You can run either. And, if you guys need any help with the setup of or the use or the implementation of this, just let us know. But basically, if you're using text messaging, you've got to pay for a two-way platform. And that's going to be $20 a month, $14.99 for the actual platform, another $5 for that vanity number that they give you to be able to use the text messaging system. On top of that, you've got to actually buy credits for the outgoing text. Now, the incoming text, you actually get 450 incoming on that $20 a month plan. So that should be enough. But the outgoing text, depending on what type of a credit package you buy, they're going to range from, let's call it right here in the middle, about 5 to 7 cents a piece. So like I said, if you're using this, you want to test it in the beginning. Don't go out there and send a few hundred text messages without understanding how the system works and without setting up a few tests. If you guys need phone numbers to test, I'll be willing to help you. Your other partners will be willing to help you. Just make sure you're not making any errors on the beginning that need to be corrected before you actually use this for marketing purposes. And you've got the ability to do a voice broadcast. Now, obviously, we talked about voice mails in the past, how very few people actually get around to listening to those on a regular basis, but nevertheless, it is available, as well as the text message. I use it mostly for the text messages. Who knows? Could do a voice broadcast in the future. The way that you're going to add contacts is you can manually add contacts. This will be for the ones that you want to test yourself, a couple business partners if they're willing to help you out. Just make sure there's no errors or kinks that are coming through the actual campaign. But what you're mostly going to use the contacts for is the quick add, or to upload an actual Excel or CSV file. If you're looking at people who have recently purchased homes for mortgage protection for clients that you've got a list, or you got a list of insurance agents, entrepreneurs, you can upload those. On the quick add, it doesn't matter how you're going to add the numbers, what format those go into, because once you import those, the system's automatically going to generate those in the format that they want to use for the outgoing text. And then finally, upload Excel or CSV files. Very easy to use this platform right here. And then also on the other services, right here on the navigation bar is going to be your quick shortcut to the two-way texting, your broadcast, everything right here, including your keywords. Now on the keywords, I made a mistake right here, and to get into the system, I just put in the keyword. I thought I could change it. Can't change it for 30 days, so this was kind of waiting to drop off before I enter into a new keyword. But basically, your keyword is going to have an automatic reply when somebody opts in, and that's right there. You can make that multiple ones for different types of campaigns as you run them. Remember, stop is an auto reply default in the system. If somebody enters stop, they'll get an automated message they've been removed. Other auto replies to opt in will be through the short keyword that you set up. And then also, if anybody out there is looking for, if you've got people coming in your organization that actually want to take incoming calls or work on client-based marketing, there's a company called DataLot. They will give you incoming calls. We're beta testing it right now. It's $35 for incoming calls, and basically what they do is they, take the call through getting all the information, and they transfer it over to you guys. If you guys want any information on this, let me know. If you don't have closing skills, don't sign up for something like DataLot. If you're interested in, just make sure that you take some time to get with somebody who will actually teach you how to sell insurance online. And this is for people coming in. We have a lot of producers that want to produce, build the agency on the side. So this is a viable way that they can get incoming calls. The only bad thing about this is you have to block off time. You don't know when the calls are going to come. So if you block off 4 to 6 p.m., you need to be available for those calls. If you guys have any questions about this, let me know. And then Craigslist. We've had a lot of interest. I've helped some of you guys post Craigslist ads. There is a article with a free PDF download on the cities and the cost. I will tell you some of the costs have changed, so that's a rough estimate. It's not going to be down to the penny or the dollar. But just realize on Craigslist some things to keep in mind. You want to follow the terms and guidelines when posting so you don't get your account blocked or your account ghosted or your ad ghosted. Prices are going to vary by location. Experiment with both large and small cities as well as suburban and rural areas. Remember, you have the advantage with our system and our digital assets to go out there and hire trained support. It doesn't matter where people are. It's kind of beta test that. And another thing to keep in mind, let's be quite honest about the current economic conditions. We're close to max employment, so results are going to be unknown as far as expectations of what to receive. Craigslist ad 3 or 4 years ago is not going to be the same as a Craigslist ad now. When you're at max employment or close to it now, you might not be getting as many leads as we were, but nevertheless, we're going to test these and see how it goes. This worked for a period of time when we first started. I think the company kind of got away from it for a little while, so it's an excellent opportunity for us as a team to go back in here and kind of see, stick our foot in the water and see what comes out of this, if anything. Remember, guys, all of your territory is right here. So every day, along with the vision board, just realize this is a digital land grab in one of the largest industries in the world. Get excited about it. Like we always talk about, the day-to-day activity, the grind of being in the foxhole of building this out, not going to be great every day. Some days are really going to suck. But just remember that if you do what you need to do and you let your efforts compound over a period of time, you're going to be successful here. You're never going to run into any type of a problem where somebody's coming and taking a leg from you. We talk about the builder's exchange leg. That's not going to happen. You're not going to need additional capital. You're not going to need additional infrastructure. This is a wide open territory grab. Go out there and make it happen. And then as you build, remember, some people are going to come in and do nothing. Some people are going to do little. Some people are going to try hard and get some mixed results, and you're going to have some superstars come out of this. You want to build your team around the people who are willing to work. You can't drag somebody through this process. You can't give somebody a work ethic. They're going to have to bring that to the table. But if they can bring a little sweat equity, a little grit to the table, connect with each other, get to know each other, commit to a goal, plan collaboratively, aka our assembly line, everyone contributes equally according to their roles, allocate to natural strengths. Once again, our assembly line comes into play there. Support and encourage each other. Guys, I like to manage through inspiration and motivation rather than tell you that you're doing something wrong. Now, if you're not doing something correct and you're asking about it, I'll be honest with you. But Let's all try to motivate each other, inspire each other, and lift each other up to get this done. Work fast and stay on track. Remember, we talk about a difference between patience and persistence. Patience is just waiting around. Persistence is making something happen. You want to be persistent about this. It is going to take some time, and it is going to take some patience, but doing nothing and just waiting is, not really a business plan here. Stay active, stay hungry, stay persistent, stay aggressive in the marketplace. Remember, we posted this on Facebook and we talked about this before. You need to develop language so that when you're talking to people, let me kind of give you the development of a marketer that comes in here. When you first come in, you're going to be excited that anybody wants to talk to you about the business. You're probably going to bring in some wrong people at the beginning. We never say from our side, don't bring this person in. We'll give you some red flags, but ultimately it's going to be your decision about who you bring into the business. I don't want to hinder your growth and you be upset about that. We will give you recommendations about yes or no, why this person might be a good fit or why this person might not be a good fit, but ultimately that's going to be up to you. So as you go forward, as you develop that language, that confidence, you're going to start to attract some better talent. I say no a lot to people nowadays because they just don't have the time to bring somebody in, invest time, energy, resources behind them if I don't think it's a waste of time for both sides, basically. But you need to develop that language. If you're talking to somebody who could be successful in this business, you're probably going to have some questions. Those questions are interest questions. So when people ask, how do you make money in this business? There's 4 quadrants that we look at. There's personal income, there's agency income, there's expansion income, and bonus income. So when you talk about the rich, the wealthy, have multiple streams of income, this one business opportunity right here automatically spins off multiple streams of income and revenue. So understand how you make money, understand how to effectively communicate that with the other side, get better at hiring and attracting top talent. If you can bring in 3 direct qualified people that are fit into a profile we think that can be successful in this business, that's really what you're aiming for. 3 a month, and then as you start to build out, that 3 should turn into base shop growth of 10, and that base shop growth of 10 will ultimately lead you down the road to identify leaders, independent agency owners that will ultimately build first legs of generational distribution for you. And then from that, the 2nd through the 6th will take care of itself. So 310 is what you want to concentrate on. If you're brand new, really haven't built a base shop yet, just concentrate on the 3. And remember, we bring this up all the time, but the more that you understand stuff, just like the vision, the more that you understand why you're doing something, the easier it is to do the activity on a daily basis. The more you understand about who you're actually looking for in the open marketplace, it's a lot easier to identify and speak to that person. So kind of get an idea, profile of who you're looking for. Stick to it. And don't forget, simplicity is how we're going to get huge in this industry. So don't overcomplicate things. Stick to being simple. The difference between growing and scaling is big, and you need to understand this. Growing means you're adding resources at the same rate you're adding revenue. On the other hand, scaling is about adding revenue at an exponential rate while only adding resources at an incremental rate. This business model was made to scale. Understand the differences between growing and scaling and how to effectively talk to people about that. What's the point of resistance for scalability for us? We always talk about it. It's talent. It's like any other company in this country right now that's trying to grow, there's a talent shortage. Same deal here. That's the only point of resistance for scalability. Talent, we have a system, we have training, we have support, we have the tools. Our job to supply the talent. That's it. Things to keep in mind as you're talking with people, as you're holding those Tier 1 confirm or Tier 1 ABC calls, make sure that you understand some of the big advantages that we have. Hire, train, and support in all 50 states. Somebody that understands that, no territorial restrictions, cost, expenses associated with that traditional model, knows we're 100% virtual. There's no physicality to this business model. Multiple roles, don't have to wear all the hats, you don't have to make sales if you don't want to. We're looking for top talent and management trainees to help with our nationwide expansion. We talked about the last couple of weeks. Well, why are we expanding? We're expanding because we have products and strategies people desperately need to know about, they don't know about. That's why we're expanding. Help us spread financial education and literacy, which is, in my opinion, the biggest problem this country faces right now, to help put people in a better, stronger financial position by teaching them how money works. And finally, guys, there's a lot of opportunity out there to make money, but it's not having the same type of positive ripple effect as this does. This is an enormous amount of money on the move right now, but you're going to have a huge positive ripple effect on both clients as well as partners if you do this business correctly. And don't forget, we've got a system in place. The system allows the average to become great. So if an opportunity is good, all you've got to do is share it. And that comes from the tier 1 contact and confirm. It's not your job to rebuttal. It's not your job to close people. It's not your job to convince people. It's your job to invite people to take a look at what our company is doing to this industry, letting those videos do the work. Those videos are a huge filter for us. They get rid of a lot of people on the front side. That helps out. Probably 90+% of the people you talk to, for a variable reason from their side or our side, it's not going to be the right fit. Just know that whittling down process of getting to the last 10% or less and then taking them through the process of ABC, possibly the commit, possibly bringing them in, or possibly shifting over to a client sales side presentation. Invite enough people, the right people like you and the right people like me will see this opportunity pretty instantly. So activity and ownership of that activity is going to separate you from the crowd. It's going to take a level of discipline. We all have to get better at being disciplined, especially in an environment where we're 100% virtual, where we're really only answering to ourselves on a daily basis. Are you prepared to make the changes and the sacrifices to be ultra successful? There is going to be imbalances in this process. On the front side, probably going to be a lot of work. On the back side, hardly any work. So you've got to trade off the front side to get to the back side just to know that what you're doing those days, 8, 9, 10, possibly even 12-hour days, are leading yourself and your family to a much better standard of living that very, very small fraction percentage of people in this country actually get to experience. Made one change to the daily activity sheet. But once again, guys, if you're not doing something on the daily activity sheet because you choose not to, because of financial constraints or something else, not a big deal. That doesn't mean don't participate in the daily activity sheet. Just block that out. It's not available or not applicable to what you're doing. But what we added was the intro text messages. We need to know going forward over the next over the next weeks and months if this is working, and if so, who's it working for and what they're doing. We're not all going to go in separate corners and not share or collaborate with each other. Hey, I'm not getting results. Hey, I'm getting results. Well, what are you doing that I'm not doing? This is going to lead up to those conversations. So if you are doing intro text messages, keep up with how those are working, and also keep up with how many that you're sending out on a weekly basis. Remember, everything that you do on a daily basis is going to lead back to the CRM. That's the brains of our operations, whether you're having email campaigns, whether you are opening calls, whether you are running ads, whether you are doing social media activity that's leading to lead creation, that goes in the CRM, and then all your follow-up tasks, direct, managerial, it all needs to be handled on a daily basis, just like everything else we do. If you don't check into LinkedIn for 3 or 4 days, it becomes a lot harder to manage that account. Same thing with the CRM. If you're not doing your task on a daily basis, you log in, all of a sudden you've got a lot of tasks, it becomes overwhelming, and it's human nature just to shut down. Got too much to do, I don't even know where to start, I'll deal with this tomorrow. Tomorrow turns into next week, turns into next month, turns into you quitting. Remember, work all aspects of the CRM depending on your role. In the beginning, your roles are going to be limited. As you grow this distribution and these base shops out, your CRM tasks become more. But you need to contact the new leads with a Tier 1 contact and confirm script. It's not very hard to do. Follow up with the existing leads with the same call script or the ABC script, as well as other ways to reach them, emails, text, social media message. Try to resolve the lead. Remember, we don't care about individual outcomes. Good, bad, or ugly, no one cares. If you do what you need to do, the right people will see this and the right people will come in. Don't get in the habit of trying to drag the wrong people in. It's a waste of time for you, me, them. It doesn't help our brand out. I hired a lot of people in the beginning that I wouldn't give 2 minutes to these days. I've gotten better at what I do, learn from our mistakes. What we're trying to do is create an easier path for you to get to an end result. Manage your calendar for specific appointments. Concrete appointments go on the calendar as a marketer, manager, as a consultant. You have tasks for the day outside the calendar, And those need to be handled each and every day, as well as if you are behind, you've got unfinished tasks as well. And then if you are a manager or you're a manager in training, you need to understand the importance of those CRM notes. If you're listed as additional rep as a manager and John Smith puts a note in and you get an email, well, in the very beginning, guys, it's a lot about inspiration and motivation. Hey, John, great job on the activity. This is normal. You're going to get better. You're not experiencing anything else that no one else in this business has experienced, or this company. As they get more comfortable with the process, your interaction through the CRM notes gets a little bit more direct. Command action, why this didn't work out well, what we need to change. But you need to be responding. If you're getting CRM notes on a daily basis and you're just watching them flow through your inbox, you're not creating a good manager-partner relationship. This keeps you from having to be on the phone all day, from having to just track down people. You're going to know who's working, who's not working, who's doing well, who's not doing well, and how you can help them. If you get stuck in conversations, we always talk about the easiest thing is to ask questions, kind of like going on a blind date. If you just sit down there and there's awkward silence, ask a question, the other party will love to talk about themselves. So these questions can just, be a crutch. They can also uncover a lot of information that you're looking for anyway that helps us discover what type of either a goal or a dream they have or a problem they're trying to avoid. Also, will give you a good understanding from your side about their understanding of what's going on here. You need people to understand digital disruption. You need to have them understand our vision, because if they don't, they're going to get confused by this model. Once again, questions will bail you out of awkward situations as well as get you the information that you need. And ask yourself, we're always talking about the better that you get as a marketer segmenting your audience, targeting that audience with messages that resonates to them as a person, easier this is going to be. So what does your audience want to hear? Ask for what you want, just like in anything in life. If you don't ask, it's never going to happen. The answer is always no, because you never ask. If you get good at asking for what you want, you're going to have people start to stand up and raise their hand and want to talk to you. And learn how to attract and hire talent. That's what this business model is all about. It's about creating leaders, creating independent agency owners, putting that time, energy, resources, labor into that person on the front side, take a piece of that business for life like any other franchise or royalty opportunity. Remember, email marketing, not too much on the front side. No matter if it's a partner or client email marketing campaign, keep it short, make it interesting enough to drive traffic to a landing page or a website. Get the interest on the front side through two things. An effective headline. If you don't have an effective headline that causes people to open the email, the rest of the email, doesn't matter how great it is worthless. So you need an enticing headline that helps people open up the email, and you need to get right down to the point with some type of a message that leads to a landing page where this will flow through the headline, the quick message, the landing page, and hopefully capture that data that will be a lead for you. The headlines, they've got to be good. This is going to help you stand out. There is something called the social media swipe file that I included in your general folder. It gives you examples about how to write effective headlines, whether it's gain or threat headlines. Get good at writing headlines, because when you look at a lot of advertisements, a lot of articles out there, most people do not have a clue about how to write an effective headline. And then don't forget, guys, the Tier 6, that Tier 4 and Tier 6 launch campaign is about helping your partner out. We have no idea what's going to come out of that. Could be nothing, could be a partner, could be a client, but we definitely want to go through that process, because like we always talk about, at a base level, it's going to give you a good understanding about the Tier 1 contact, the Tier 1 confirm, how to use the CRM. And then don't forget, we're not pushing the business opportunity, but we are pushing living benefits. It's a crusade of ours on the client side to get living benefits in as many people's hands who can qualify as possible. We always talk about the financial ruin of these medical events, medical expenses that cause financial chaos in the household that lead to a large amount of bankruptcies, foreclosures, as well as divorces. So whether you want to or not, you need to at least get 20 names in the CRM of people that you can approach. And like I said, at a base level, we're going to learn how to use the CRM with the script. Outside of that, who knows what comes out of it. But if you're not willing to at least go in and try this in the beginning, How are you ever going to handle cold market, social media advertising? This is about getting comfortable. The easiest people to get comfortable with are people you actually have some type of relationship with, where in case you royally screw up, it's not going to be a big deal. So prerequisite to the Tier 6 training and any other additional individual training now is to get those 20 names in the CRM. Mike Hensmark talks about through the export of Google Contacts, Facebook, LinkedIn. You should have a large list that you can whittle down to 20. And it's the manager's responsibility, guys. As a manager, you've got to keep in contact with people. If you have somebody coming out of the Tier 6, 72 hours later, you see no notes coming through, well, you're 72 hours late. You've got to get with them, especially that first process of the campaign, of the first 30, 60, 90 days. It's crucial for a manager to set up the communication that allows the other side to know what's expected of them, what they can expect from us, but also set some guidelines of what they're supposed to be doing every day. If you just let them drift, drifting will lead to quitting. And don't forget, when we look at a financial plan and you look at, and I always use this example because I was, I don't know why I was startled, but I saw so many people on the government shutdown on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. They were down to their last literally dollar after just a 30-day shutdown of the government. Well, what happens on a medical event when you have multiple weeks or months without that income? Well, if you're the sole breadwinner or if you contribute a large majority of the income coming into the household has no fallback money, as we see that the statistical analysis of most American families don't. This is a recipe for disaster, because not only is your income plummeting or just cut off completely, but your expenses are rising as well. So living benefits is the one product that you need to have a good understanding about how it works, the benefits, why people should have it, and how to be able to go out there and effectively talk to people about living benefits. Remember, as that income is plummeting, typically the expenses are starting to rise. That creates that scenario where we're either going to go into debt, we're going to prematurely attack assets. If we don't have access to either one of those, or very limited access to either one of those, we fall behind very quickly. So what the living benefits does is it parallels this time period, gives your standard of living a fighting chance, as well as gives you driver's seat in terms of how you want to attack some type of an illness or medical event that you're facing. $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 is going to get you whatever type of alternative medical care that you seek out in the marketplace. So it gives you options, and it gives you a standard of living protection. And one of the things, guys, that you need to understand is if you're working on senior vice president, you should always have a rolling 90-day. What is my organization doing? What are they producing? And how do I look at those numbers, and how do I work with my team to get the production up to where we need? Whether it's standard or fast track, it's 25 licensed agents, not all direct to you, just underneath you. That forming base shop that we're looking at, 25 licensed agents. And that over that rolling 90-day or rolling 3-month, we need to identify that the entire organization has written 75,000 annual points, which is 6,250 in monthly premium over the entire cycle, which if you break that down, it's about $2,100 a month in premium, or $70 a day every day being written on average for the complete 90-day cycle will get you there under the reductions and guidelines for standard or fast track. If you are working on this, understand where you are, where you need to go, and keep a rolling 90-day. And it all starts with phase 1. Whether you want to be a huge distribution builder with coast-to-coast activity for financial services, whether you just want part-time income, it doesn't really matter what you want out of this business. And everybody's goals, desires, wants, outcomes are going to be different, but really your steps begin with phase 1. If you never complete phase 1 and you start to hire people and they start completing things, they're going to leapfrog you, and vice versa on the other side. As you go through the process of even client sales, we want you to make as much money as possible. Get out of the lower contracts, get the reductions and guidelines. Phase 1 is very easy. Get it done. We have no builders exchange legs. We have no co-leadership legs. This is a one and done upfront sale. It's not very hard. 50% probably of the time it's going to be done on a personal policy. The other half of the time they can't qualify, they can't afford it, it's not suitable. We have to go out in the open marketplace and help them identify, and we always lead we go out there and talk to 20 people, there's a high likelihood that somebody's got an active enforced term policy, and out of those active enforced term policies, there's probably about a 33% chance, or 1 in 3, that they would qualify for an upgrade. So statistically speaking, for both phase 1 as well as immediate premium coming into your organization, phase 1 is really where it starts. So we've got a few minutes left. I want to take you guys through a couple of things really quickly. I hope it hasn't kicked me out. The lead capture pages. So on your, and let me exit out of right here, the VF right here, disc icon, will take you over to your back-end marketing. You've got all of these lead capture pages that you need to understand how to deploy. First one, improve your economic situation. Let's click on that. And this is about what a lot of people are facing in this country. Ready to improve your economic situation. So how would I deploy this landing page effectively? Who am I talking to? What's my message? And then my message needs to drive it back to a landing page that makes sense according to what message I've got. This is what you call just an original kind of OG landing page where you've got a little bit of information, and before they get access to anything else, name, email address, and phone number. Now, this will be one of the situations where you want to make sure this tour page over here doesn't take them to another landing page like this where you're immediately asking for information. Once you've captured the data, allow them to have access to the information. Build retirement income. People of certain age, really people of all ages need to be building retirement income, but as you get a little bit older, it starts to become more of an apparent, immediate concern for you. So who is my audience? How do I deploy this page? What's my message to these people? Let's see, improve family finances right here. Everybody's looking to increase their standard of living, to get out of debt, to get more assets built up. Once again, who's my audience? What's my message? Short to the point to drive people to this landing page. Now that up there, F4, F5, and F6 leads us down to some other original landing pages. Work from the beach. This is one of those typical landing pages where you're giving them almost nothing before you're asking for the name, email address, and phone number. What's my message? What's my audience? How do I drive traffic to this landing page? Beach 2, similar landing page. This would be something that would be deployed where you're trying to capture the information right off tops and make sure your tour page makes sense. You've got, this right here, index HTML. This takes them to the page that gives them access. And this is a little bit different of a landing page. Now you're giving them access to the industry overview video before you're asking for their data. So you're giving them some. This is another entrepreneurial page right here. I like this one. I use this one quite often. This gives them access to the company information, my links right here, the banner billboard, the capture page right here. You've got some do-it-yourself pages right here. You've got a lot of these different pages that give you basically the same page. They're just set up a little bit differently. This page would be something that I would lead to if I'm talking to people that are tired of making commutes, tired of driving around, tired of being away from their family, stuck on these freeways, or in more rural areas driving hour and a half, 2 hours to get to where they need to go. So this page will actually give them access to, the commute video before asking for the information. So a lot of these are the same. This is your actual website. You need to make sure that you understand what's on the website. This is the central part of your marketing, is your website. You've got some client landing pages here as well. You've got some of the typical stuff right here. Agent Pro. Remember, Agent Pro is for anybody. You want to look at this, anybody who typically wears a suit. Insurance agents, real estate agents. This is about diversifying your business, building a virtual division at virtually no cost, expanding your income. Remember, a lot of these people, we're disrupting an industry, but a lot of these other people in other industries are being disrupted as well. Real estate agents are looking for ways to open up more streams of revenue and income because they're getting squeezed on their commissions. Remember, disruption is a force that either creates or destroys. We're creating value, but as that process goes forward, we're destroying value for a lot of the traditional models. So understand who you're talking to, what's your message, how to effectively get that across. Different parts of your website here. You've got the BPM down here, your direct page. This actually gives them access to both videos before you ever ask for any capture. So this will be a good page to actually put on the back half of one of those landing pages that asks for the information up front off tops. And you've got some other stuff, the phone interview request transformation. So get to know these pages. If you guys need any help setting these up, understanding what's good for what type of advertisement, or once again, if you're on LinkedIn, segmenting those first connections, landing pages are a great way to get a message to them really quick, to the point, to try to drive traffic to those landing pages. The other thing real quick I want to show you guys, if you guys are financially strapped, there's all types of free things that you can do. I started posting this month in postjobfree.com. I always try to develop things that if I have a partner come in and they're financially strapped, don't want to say, hey, go spend $100 here, $200 there. I want to give them opportunity to be able to have some activity. You can post ads here. You know, I've got one Charlotte, Miami, Boston, LA, Houston, Phoenix, Philadelphia, and Denver. If it's the same type of the text, if it's 90% of the same type of text, you can post in a different city once every week. If it's different type, you can post it. So I've got big industry, top talent seeking. I'm just alternating those, adding more cities. Now, they do have the paid versions where you can sponsor, you can boost the ad, but every single ad that you run here, like when I ran Charlotte, when I went back in to do my opportunity to opt in for free to get resumes back to your email address. So, for example, you'll get resume alert outbound media in Philadelphia right here. You can see police lieutenant. All of these things match some of our keywords in our ad. And you can go down here and you can pick out, you know, one, if there's one or two that actually seem like they fit into a profile of who you're looking for. And when you click on these, you can contact this candidate, and it's going to say basically it's going to put your ad back over to them. Now, you can do 5 free messages a week, so that's, you know, 20 plus a month. So all I'm trying to encourage you guys to do is, outside of the typical activity, open up more legs of marketing, whether you have no money or whether you have some money, paid or free advertising. There's a bunch out there that you can do, and you can see that through these efforts. Let me go back over here. There's been a few views, not too much, and then the one in Charlotte actually got 3 applications, paid nothing for this. So guys, remember, the recipe for success is activity, accountability, and education. Get better at your activity, get better at accounting for the activity, reflecting on that, and then, of course, education. If you are doing that every single day, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the coming months and the next couple of years as this business model really takes off. So that's all I've got for today. If you guys have any questions, any statements right now, I'll pass it back over to Alana. If you guys need any help on an individual basis, just let us know. If you're working, we're willing to work with you.
Wow, another tremendous meeting by Mike Amos. Thank you so much, Mike. And Mike is supposed to be the guest speaker for Saturday's training for the company. So really excited for that as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the recording, and we're going to open up the floor for any questions or if anybody has anything they want to add. Thanks.